What's up, everybody? This is Nick, and you're joining us once again for a Micro Mini Lightning Newscast, where we bring you news in 10 minutes. News that you can use. And as always, I'm joined by my good friend and co-host.
This is Eric.
And Eric, today we're talking about some kind of rare and just weird, wacky animal stories. Oh, those weird and wacky animals.
You know, Nick, animal stories are almost a cornerstone of this podcast, it feels like. Every week we have some sort of animal story.
And Eric, why do we do that?
I have no idea.
Well, mainly it's because we want to keep the viewer aware of the dangers of animals.
They're horrible creatures.
They are. They are God's, thing.
Demons.
Demons. He put them out there to be the thorn in our flesh, I believe.
I agree.
But, my friend, there are some things happening out in this world that the people need to know about. And as always, we have 10 minutes to bring it to them. 10 minutes to tell them of the dangers of the world around them. And as always, we put this 10 minutes on our good friend, the guest star Death Star. When the Jedi make the bombing run and explode the Death Star, we are done. In 3, 2, 1. Eric, hit us with that first story.
Well, a story popped out of Corpus Christi that a man just this week got bitten by a rattlesnake. You'd think, rattlesnakes, Corpus Christi seem pretty common, but it was
rattlesnakes are deadly things. They're scary.
They are scary.
But if you stay away from them, pretty good job of you hear the rattle and stay away. You should be fine.
Well, the man and his wife, the Sutcliffes, we'll call them. They were out doing a little gardening. That's right, I did. They were doing a little gardening, just kind of spending the time outside, working on the lawn, I imagine, and the wife was just doing her thing and spotted a 4-foot rattlesnake.
Goodness.
And her husband quickly took a shovel and severed the snake's head. Now, I've done this. I've had to do this. Once we had a water moccasin make its way into my house. Twice that's happened into my dad's house. We finally figured out where they were coming from. But they just kind of crawl in and just kind of hang out, and they have an odor. You'd be like, it just smells kind of like a skunk, and they smell bad. Right. Water moccasin, cottonmouth, also called that. And so we had to handle it then. So he severs the head of this rattlesnake, and then you're gonna be wondering, like, okay, what's the story? Well, the man bent down to get rid of the bits and pieces of his glorious battle. His vanquished foe had one last trick up its sleeve and bit him. A decapitated rattlesnake had bit him.
Oh, zombie rattlesnake?
Zombie rattlesnake head, exactly, Nick. That's what I'm getting at. Animals, even when dead, are trying to attack us. It is a nightmare. Because it was dead, it did not control the amount of venom it injected into the man, into his hand or finger that got bit. So it injected all its venom. So typically snakes only inject a bit of venom. And he was taken to the hospital. The wife threw him in the car, started driving to the hospital, knew they weren't going to make it in time, met an ambulance. He got a halo flight to the hospital because it was that bad. And the first 24 hours, the man nearly died. He was given vast amounts of anti-venom.
Wow. I mean, that is crazy. I mean, how much antivenom did he end up getting? I mean, how much, when somebody gets bit by a rattlesnake, how much antivenom do they normally get? I mean, you said vast amounts. I assume this is more than the normal?
Yes, much more than the normal. And a normal bite, I think, takes 4 to 6 doses of antivenom.
Okay.
Oh, let me correct that. 2 to 4 doses. 2 to 4 doses of antivenom. He received 26 doses.
Holy cow.
So he got, let's say 4 doses we'll say that's average just for easy numbers. So, I mean,
He got 6 times the normal, over 6 times the normal doses.
Over 6 times the normal doses, of antivenom. So he dumped all of its venom into the man. He's in stable condition, but his kidneys function is weak because it's clearing out the venom. And wow, I can't imagine.
Man, so we can't even trust animals to die properly? Is that what you're telling me?
No, they've been cursed. that even in death that they will attack us. It's a nightmare, man. Living on this planet with these monsters all around us. We live in a nightmare, Nick.
Well, buddy, let me tell you about a nightmare I have.
What's that?
I have a nightmare that animals will learn how to open like doors and things like that to be able to get to me from the safety of my car or my
Your
house.
home. Yeah. Like you're thinking, hey, if I just close this door, I'll be good. I mean, we have already seen videos of cats opening doors, right? We've seen that.
Right. Well, my friend, this nightmare that I've had is coming a reality.
Oh yeah? How so?
There are stories coming out of Kruger National Park that there are lions that are learning how to open car doors.
What?
Yes, they are walking up, they kind of sniff. This is all by the way, Kruger National Park in South Africa. But they're kind of just sniffing things in this video that I watched, this horrific, almost disastrous thing. This video, this lion sniffs kind of the car. It's really interested in the rearview mirrors at first, and then they kind of try to move to get the lion to back off a little bit. Well, then he goes to the car doors and he starts biting the handle.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. Luckily they had their car door shut or locked.
Yeah.
So the animal was not able to get in, but Eric, the animal was trying to viciously eat these people. I believe.
Clearly, that is true.
Things like this have been happening for a while. There was an incident in 2014 where a family was driving along, and a lion actually walked up, and you can see them filming from within their car.
Yeah. The
lion walks up, opens the back door where the girl is filming, and she quickly reaches out and shuts the door, and then they lock it. And she even says, I didn't know they could do that.
That would be scary.
Yeah, it was. And then there's another video that happened in 2016 where a group of hyenas were trying to open up the car doors. The animals are getting smarter, Eric. That's what I'm getting at here.
They're going to find a way to get to us one day. That's why we need to attack and strike first.
Well, luckily, Eric, we can train other animals to defend us, to help us. Like dogs, for example.
You can train them, but you got to be careful. A dog can't really face a lion or a hyena or a crocodile. Well, speaking of crocodiles,
wait, what? They can't?
No, a crocodile ate a beloved terrier that had spent decades taunting. And this man had co-opted an animal to do its bidding, as it should be. Yeah. A saltwater crocodile has eaten a dog that had been mocking it for years, to the horror of onlookers. In Goat Island Lodge, south of Darwin, in the middle of the crocodile-infested Adelian River, guests had gathered to watch a pup called Pippa do her favorite thing, and that was to run at Casey the crocodile to scare her back into the river. But to the shock and alarm of onlookers, Casey the crocodile did what crocodiles do, and that was eat small animals. Apparently, Pippa ran straight at the head of the crocodile, and Casey just snapped and ate the little pup. Pippa
died?
Yeah.
Pippa was no more?
There is a video of this, which I will not watch because I'm a sensible human being and I don't want to watch a dog die.
I have no desire to watch it. I mean, dogs are our friends and
kind of our friends. I mean, not dachshunds, though. Dachshunds are Satan's pets.
I don't know. Dachshunds are pretty good. I've met some good dachshunds.
No, you haven't. They're fooling you. So here's what. So the croc snapped ate the dog, dragged it into the water, and it was gone. Now, the owner of the dog was obviously heartbroken. The pup had been doing this for a long time, just entertaining onlookers. And it was just a tragedy. Now, the dog really wasn't trained to do this. It's just something, little dogs are territorial.
Right.
And they'll do these things. And that's it. It's not like you really trained the dog to do it. But he didn't stop the dog from doing what a dog does. And in the end, the dog got eaten.
He should have trained the crocodile not to do.
Oh, yeah?
Biting this thing.
Well, this crocodile is a little aggressive. He says in the early days, she actually had to go at me a couple of times. These days, I just throw food out from on top, and no one is allowed to walk down there where the crocodile goes. So it's like the crocodile has become more and more aggressive. So now, typically, crocodiles aren't put down for eating small animals like dogs, only humans. Because if they go after a human, they're going after a very large animal.
Right.
Large. And so that means they have learned to not fear us as they should. And they have to be killed. So he even said, hey, the crocodile's just doing what crocodiles do. There's no need to kill it. And so, yeah.
It finally decided to fight back.
Yeah.
You can't really... In an instance where nature does what nature does, you can't really fault it.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
You don't run towards the charging rhinoceros
to scare it off. No.
Yeah, to scare it off. If it's charging at you, you run the other direction. You don't run towards it. This is what Pippa did. Pippa ran towards the angry crocodile, the hungry crocodile.
Yep, and lost the battle.
It did. It did. Pippa did not make it through. But my friend, those are rare occurrences. Very rare occurrences.
Yeah, the things we've talked about don't happen a lot, but they do happen.
Oh, well, no, animals opening car doors does hapen a lot. They're learning. They're getting smarter.
It's a exponential curve there.
Yes. But Eric, there's other rare things in this world. Do you have an example of one?
I do have the example of one.
Very quickly, we're going into overtime.
That's right. Little extra bit here for you guys. An orange lobster discovered at a supermarket.
A rock lobster?
A rock lobster. It is 1 in 30 million chance that a lobster will have the genetic proteins that it will cause it to turn orange. Now, you'll commonly find... Not commonly, but more commonly find blue or oddly colored lobsters. But an orange lobster was discovered. It kind of looks like a cooked lobster is what it already looks like. When you actually throw one or get one cooked from a place, it looks like that. But it's alive and crawling. It's not brown or blue or kind of that pinkish color some of them are. And so it's a bright orange, very rare lobster. It is found at a supermarket in Cape Breton Island in Nova Scotia at a Westboro store, whatever Westboro is.
Oh, it's your neighborhood market.
Yeah, apparently. According to the New England Aquarium, the 1 2/3 pound orange lobster is considered to be more rare than the blue lobster. And the Lobster Institute at the University of Maine said it is the likelihood of a lobster being orange is 1 in 30 million. And the reason it's rare also is because it's very bright, and so it's an easy target for predators.
Let me ask you this, Eric. Does it cook up any different?
Well, we're not going to be able to find that out. It is now in quarantine, but will be on display at some point at one of the aquariums, the New England Aquarium or in Japan. One of the two, it'll be on display. But yeah. So that's our news for lobster news for the month. I know that people wait to hear our lobster news.
I was going to say, that's probably our lobster news for the decade.
I bet I can find another lobster story. Don't know if it'll be this good, but I bet you I can find one.
All right. Well, we thank you for joining us. Eric, where can they find us?
Well, okay.
It's rare to find one of those. But it's not rare to find us. Where can they find us?
It is not rare to find us. You can find us all over the internet. And first and foremost, you can find us at Facebook. For those who have been visiting our Facebook page, thank you very much. But you can find us there. Just search for Pull Up a Chair Podcast, and you'll find us with our lovely triangle. You'll also find us on Twitter at Pull Up a Chair Pod. And you can also find us on YouTube. Just search for Pull Up a Chair Podcast. We have our own website, puckpodcast.website, pucpodcast.website. And you can find us on every Apple, clearly iTunes, and Android podcasting app. Nick.
All right. Well, my friends, thank you once again for joining us and learning about all the dangers out there from nature, from us, the people you can trust.
That's right.
And the news that you need to know. Have yourself a great day.
Bye.